What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Blade Dragons podcast. I'm Alex,
And I'm Elliot.
and we are the Blade Dragons, and we have just finished watching episode 15 of the Beyblade X anime. And after last week, we're kind of hyped for it. It seemed like it was going to be pretty cool, and there were some interesting parts, but not quite what we were expecting. But I don't think it's necessarily a bad episode. Probably going to be a little bit better when we get it subbed and there's some subtitles, but overall just kind of a little bit not as good, but not bad.
Yeah, we're waiting for something to happen. We're not sure exactly what we're waiting for quite yet, but as of now, it is up in the air on what's actually happening in this anime. It seems to have storyline progress and then just doesn't for like 3 episodes. So I still don't know what the process is. Like, they didn't confirm what happened after they beat the 30-second challenge, did they? Or did they get the
Nope.
They didn't get the manga reward?
No, they just kind of move on with their lives, I think. I don't know
Okay,
if they
cuz
specifically mentioned it.
I didn't know if they split or did that jump in the linear progression there in the anime. I couldn't remember after they defeated that challenge, because I know it's confusing when they didn't introduce Burn like they did in the manga. So I was like, well, they could just be filling in random stuff because they did what they did in the manga and now they just ran out of storyline, but I don't know. Anyway, this episode was definitely something. It was a funny episode that they once again didn't give us auto subs for some reason. We blame YouTube on that one, but anyway, take it away, Metal.
Yep, you've got some very interesting points, like why. Well, actually, we did get an answer to it, but we start the. I guess we can just we can take that one off the points already. But anyways, we start the episode in the middle of bum f nowhere, and they have like no kind of warm clothes on. They're just in their normal street clothes, and we're just kind of like, why? What is this? Why are we in Antarctica? Where are we? When are we? There was like no answers to anything, and they're just kind of like out in the middle of nowhere. And Bird literally runs face first into this frozen polar bear out in the middle of the tundra, which honestly kind of looks a little goofy, but oh well. It's Beyblade. Ooh.
The scaling. So Bird is approximately 3/4 tall of Grizzly Bear. Grizzly Bear is about 15 feet tall. Bird confirmed 8 feet tall. Giga Chad.
Exactly. I mean, hey, Wario is 10 feet as confirmed by Matt Pat. So, you know.
Is that
I
really?
think so, yeah. Wario's like 10 feet tall by logic, which is funny because he's normally like shorter than Mario, I think.
So does that mean Waluigi's like 2 stories tall?
Probably, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. Waluigi
I remember
is like,
yeah.
yeah, he's probably like a good 22 feet tall by the logic of Wario being 10 feet.
No, you gotta love pixel measurements. We should pixel measurement Taisho. Heck yeah. Are there pixels in anime? I don't think so.
Definitely not definitely not as well.
We don't have any reference points.
I think the question is, do we really want to do pixel measurements for this anime?
No, because they're completely backwards. Like we have 12-foot tall Rhino and 13-foot little girl riding Rhino or whatever.
And like the world's biggest lion next to King.
Yeah, and King's head is bigger than an entire lion.
Yeah. Yep. This is anime, and this is also us at 11:43 at night, and it's
and 17 seconds, 18, 19.
Can't forget the seconds. Yep, and counting. Also, this is a picture here.
Did they get attacked by the No,
that was a Yeti.
Okay, yeah. So they run into that bear, and then they find a Yeti that attacks them, and then Bird literally plays the man, like he's the man, Batman, superhero, whatever, and protects Malty. But then they find out that they were actually always in danger because Bird can bench press twice, so he wasn't saving anybody.
Yeah, pretty much. It was yeah, kind of it was kind of endearing though to see Bird very concerned for Multi, kind of
Mm-hmm.
not really building their relationship as much as it was when they were sitting down next to the 3D printer while
Mm-hmm.
it was going off. But there's maybe we'll see what happens in season 5. There could be I'll leave it at that, and with that we'll leave that picture, we'll leave that image, the picture, the photograph will go bye, and now we have a Yeti holding drawn sword, which I think is kind of obvious. Drawn sword and in Yeti hands. I wonder who the Yeti is. And I think it just why was there a Yeti at all? It's like the whole episode. I think there's a good question because they're basically in like this ancient Egypt museum. It seems like that's sort of the setting. Why do they have a whole section of the Egypt museum just like blizzard frozen with a base stadium of all things inside of it?
Yeah, this episode felt kind of like an acid trip. Like, there was no linear progression. Like, it doesn't even start, like, anywhere reality based. And then it just gets thrown into a random place with, I mean, obviously, if we had more subtitles, it probably would make more sense. But from literally just watching pictures on a screen, we were so lost. And nothing really made sense, but so as we see, the Yeti does have drawn sword, and obviously he's using a battle pass, so I'd like to see the Yeti's battle stats. He would probably kill Bird in a battle. Will Bird and Yeti battle?
Here's the real question: Bird and Yeti sumo wrestling? When do we see that? When do we see that happen? When's that episode?
We need that. We have baseball fillers and everything else now. We need a Beyblade X sumo filler episode. Heck yeah.
Exactly. That's what we need. But yeah, so we
That's when the fans are going to be into it.
Yep, pretty much. I mean, hey, we had the bodybuilding one.
Yeah, we did.
So, I don't think it's any surprise from the last image that guess who the Yeti was? Oh, it was just our favorite baby day boy. And
KAMEN.
he's enjoying being a goof. I don't even know why he has the Yeti costume. Like, was that ever explained or?
He skipped ahead, went to the gift shop, and then looped back around. He just got so excited. He had to take a 5K run around the museum, go to the gift shop, spend $3,000 on a fur ejected, real life sized Yeti suit just for a 2-second gag. And why? Because he's KAMEN.
Exactly.
He doesn't need any explanations.
Exactly. And at the end of the day, all this just confirms is that Beyblade X has furries now, and KAMEN is one of them. So, there you go, furries.
That's the title. Beyblade X has furries confirmed.
That'll draw the attention in. We'll get some good ass
better.
views.
Like we're trying here, people.
Beyblade
like,
X furries
shit.
confirmed. Must watch, not clickbait. Surprisingly not gone sexual.
But in the hood.
hood reaction live. Caught in
Beyblade X hood furries gone wrong.
Oh, that was the Street Thugs episode where they had the snake.
Hood reptiles.
Hood reptiles. Oh my gosh. I'm writing that down.
Gonna go back and change the title there. Beyblade X hood reptiles.
Oh my word.
I don't even remember what our thumbnail was for that video, but I'm gonna go check.
I think it was the Grease Stadium.
Oh, it was. Yeah, that's the video that actually did well. I was gonna say we should literally just change it to the derpy ass snake.
Oh, we should have put the snake in it as well.
Oh well. Apparently we did something right there. I don't know. But anyway, what are we talking about again?
Furries, but we don't we're gonna. Oh well, that we can't escape it. I was ready to move on, but then we have this. I guess Bird is into furries because, well, here we go.
Birds of feathery. Featheries are friends with furries.
Yeah, I think so. The aviators and the landlubbers like to intermingle sometimes, and we're gonna move on before
Move
we
on.
we're gonna move on.
The
So
whole
anyway,
episode's just a
Egyptian
joke.
Museum, and there's a Mario question coin up in the top here for whatever reason.
We didn't find out why, but we thought. I mean, I was thinking they used the counter for the Beyblade battle in the Yeti, as there was a question block that turned into numbers. I was like, bro, is this turning into Mario Kart? We're gonna get power-ups? Is this UX? No, it's literally just a random thing they threw in the episode. I was kind of upset. I was like, whoa, are they gonna get a double jump or like a mushroom and doing a double extreme mushroom dash? But I guess not.
Double extreme mushroom dash. Oh my goodness. Elliot and I have been chatting for the past like however long it's been, and we were talking for like ages before we actually started recording this. The amount of like Elliot Sampson quotes I've gotten tonight is like, it's so great. It is incredible. One of these days we'll do like a couple videos of pre-stream and post-stream, possibly featuring the Mim Sky if he decides to hop in.
Yeah. No, it takes a week off and just has built up energy.
Yeah, pretty much. You know, kind of looking at this image here, you can kind of tell where AI sort of had a part in it. Like, if we take a look all the way down at the podium thing here, or the statue in the middle, it kind of looks a little off-centered slightly. It leans more to the right.
Yeah, it could
side.
just be perspective type things, because I know this anime is not polished. But it could be some AI influence on it, but at the same time, they're not as particular in this anime as some others.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know how they make it, but yeah, I don't see too glaring feats of animation.
These little like bottom spaces look a little weird to me. Kind of looks like the floor slopes at a awkward angle.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to tell with this anime because there's like lack of detail or whatever compared to AI, and they kind of meld together sometimes.
Yeah, it's really weird, but I always think it's worth criticizing
For sure, yeah.
the graphics, because it's like AI. I think overall, when you're not really paying attention to the detail like we are, it looks fine. You know, you can tell it's some kind of museum. There's a ice cave in it for whatever reason, but then you kind of zoom in on it. You zoom in, and it's
Zoom.
This is bad. Every time one of us laughs, it just chains back to back. We get when you when you zoom in, it you can see the like, you know, where things are a little bit just wonky, or wonkier than they normally would be.
Yeah, I guess now you pointed out that is kind of off axis, some of the walls, but it is what it is. Like we said, this is an episode that is different in multiple ways. Like, Bird went through the time vortex in Dragon Ball Z. You know, the time chamber aged him 10,000 years, but he's still youthful, but also just went Super Saiyan Gray.
Yeah, pretty much. Is this a Dragon Ball X Beyblade X collaboration?
Is this Koro?
I see
Beyblade X
what
Koro Dragon Ball
nice.
Z?
I see what they did there. They're trying to get me to buy Goku toys. I knew it.
Bird Ultra Instinct confirmed?
I knew it.
Bird MUI? Oh my gosh!
Bird MSUV. And then we got this. Whatever this is I think this is some kind of like Sphinx exhibit or something. What's up with the sky though? Like, why is it?
That's what I saw. I was like, bro, are we literally in like Italy where they just paint skies on the ceiling now? Or is this like a 4X type exhibit where they just put the northern lights up there for fun?
Or is it just casually, just literally, just no roof?
It's just blew the roof off.
Yeah, Zonamos did it. He blew the roof off. The fence type humans. Let me tell you about them.
Defense type humans.
Yeah, I mean, I think we have a picture of him in here. You'll definitely know what it is.
That's the first time I've heard that one,
Really?
but I could definitely relate. I think I might have heard it, but hearing it out of just in a sentence like that made me laugh.
Yeah, I was like 90% sure. I at least.
Oh no, I missed out a week on jokes, so I'm a little behind.
Said that in your. Oh man, I feel. Don't worry, we're gonna play. We're gonna play Beyblade Metal Fight, whatever you call it, Madness, the board game. Because Mim did one, and then I wanted to make one, and it's scuffed. It is so scuffed. It is more scuffed than Jordans in middle school. I'm gonna tell you, middle school Jordans are kind of nasty because the kids that wear them do not understand the principle of having nice things, so their shoes get all dirty and scuffed up and marked. And I forgot that this was a Beyblade podcast. We're going back to Beyblade now.
You know, I was gonna interrupt you there, but the point was so valid. But I also have shoes from 7th grade that I can still wear. So,
Oh my goodness.
My Jordans might have a mustard stain on them, but
Well, first of all, your Jordans are completely fake.
with mustard and scuff.
The mustard Jordans.
The mustard
ranch
guy.
Jordans. Oh my goodness. I'm trying to keep my brain alive. It's not going well, guys. I don't know if you can
I
tell.
don't know what we're talking about anymore, but
Yeah.
this is what I was hoping the podcast would turn out to be. More off the rails, less actual talk about podcast stuff. And if you guys enjoy this episode, maybe we'll smoke crack more often.
Yeah, of course. Be sure to subscribe for the Crack Dragons episode 2 for next week. Or we're just absolutely.
It's so funny. Anything you put dragons after is just a spin-off. Like, we've had like 18 different spin-offs already, and we just throw
Crack
dragons at the end.
the cum dragons, the
I don't remember that one. I don't remember that
sorry.
one.
You have to pay for that one. You have to pay
It's
for
spicy dragons. We gotta leave a little mystery
that. Oh,
there.
that's right. The spicy dragons. That's right.
Just
And
full
then
out said it.
the metal dragons, the crab dragons,
Yeah.
the blue eyes white dragons.
Oh, that's great.
The Zanky dragons. No one's gonna get that joke. It's okay. It's okay.
Maybe one day they will, but hopefully they'll never see that joke. Never sees the light of day.
On the last day of podcast, when we're like 80, we'll mention what that was.
Beyblade
Remember
XYZ.
back in episode 17 when we made the Zanky joke? Yeah, that's what this was. No. Maybe one day. If we hit 1 million subscribers on this podcast or 1 million views, maybe we'll explain what it was.
If we get monetized on this podcast, we'll do a lot of things.
That's true, yeah. Ooh.
Like, go to Canada or Washington and buy a seal.
Yep, all in pennies too. No
Yes.
cash, no card, pennies only.
If
Anyways,
you guys didn't know, vegan seals exist.
yeah, they do. We confirmed this earlier tonight. In fact, vegan seals do. This was a Beyblade podcast.
Take it away, Alex.
Oh my god. So we have a Sphinx here. And I don't know what he's on about, but I'm gonna die if I keep looking at him, so we're gonna move on. And we get this like weird hooded Anubis thing. Now, do keep in mind the general shape of Anubis's body, right? It seems it seems a little more feminine, and it's slender. The eyes look a little more feminine. I think the general like face and everything.
Slender Anubis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no face. Well, got a little hoodie there, but oh my goodness.
But we did confirm that this is like a Ichigo type thing. That this is a 4X attraction. So it seems like when in doubt, they just throw 4X into stuff to make it more interesting. And this museum is no exception, which I don't think we have many pictures showing it, but they just flip-flop between scenes with 4X. No, we do have a scene there, but it's just really weird when they throw 4X in there, and when they don't, like we'll get into one of these screenshots that I was expecting them to break the wall down, but no. It's just real life.
I don't know why, but I have the urge to laugh a little too much. I've been up for so long that I haven't actually been up for that long. I don't know. I'm like my brain is so tired that I'm like I'm getting slightly inebriated, which is not great, but at least I can I'm not going anywhere. We're sitting here for the next 40-ish minutes. So it'll be all good. But yeah, it's kind of cool that they have the 4X thing in the museum. It's like it's not just a Beyblade thing. It's also something that probably we'll see around in the Beyblade X world that seems to be very limited to shopping mall, cafe, museum, X Tower, and Taisho Sushi. We have 5 whole locations.
Do they have X or 4X in Taisho?
No. That's a great question, actually.
You said they had it in Taisho Sushi.
Oh no, I meant those were the 5 locations that we see the entire anime.
Oh, like the stadium.
Yep. X Tower, Taisho, shopping mall, and back alley, cafe, and museum. Those are the 5 places that we have. Wait, no, there's also the gym, and the park.
Oh, the zoo.
And the zoo, and Yggdrasil's lab. Okay,
4X. Yeah, like we said, 4X is just VFX, in real life. Why'd my light just shut off? That's creepy.
Virtual reality, kind of.
VR.
Or augmented reality. It's it's augmented reality in reality, but they do the they've got they can change the environment look and feel apparently because they had the whole Blizzard thing going on, which was kind of crazy. It's like, how do you do that? And we'll see later. They have some really weird. It's like a section that just kind of made us shit our pants a little bit. We had no idea what was happening. Elliot's like, oh, I didn't load my pamper at that scene.
Come on, I wear Huggies, not Pampers.
Sorry, I forgot. You New Yorkers like Huggies up there.
I know. Diego pull-ups, they're the shit.
I forgot about those. I forgot about the themed diapers. How did we get to?
We had Zoo Pals, Ribbit Zoo Pals, Go Diego Go on my ass.
I'm gonna have so much fun rewatching this and just all the LA quotes. Go Diego, go on my ass.
Forget that we're recording. I'm just like, wow, that's gonna be on the internet now. Oh well.
Oh well. It's funny. It's funny. If you don't think it's funny,
for a laugh.
Go away. If you don't find 2 young adults laughing at Go Diego Go Pampers, then you just have no sense of humor. But yeah, so we the whole augmented reality thing is it's pretty interesting, and it's kind of cool to see how they stretch it out through this section of the episode. It's the episode it's like Yeti scene 1, the 4X tunnel nonsense, and then Yeti battle 2, which we'll get into in a bit. But overall, it was. Keep in mind, Anubis is kind of skinny. So now we move on, and we see Mr. Defense Type Human up there, who's very interesting, actually. I gotta say, he's a big boy. He's a very wide boy. He looks a lot more like square in the manga. Here he kind of just looks big, but let me tell you, in the manga, this dude is literally like a walking square on legs.
It looks like
it's
Gru.
Weird. He really does. He kind of does.
Big...
Except he's got fat legs too. So he looks. He's kind of like Kingpin from Spider-Verse. That big frame, except he's got like a decent sized head.
Like Eggman.
Yeah.
Square Eggman.
Squigman. And then, but yeah, so we get Zonamos, and he's kind of got like this Jotaro looking hat on, which is interesting. And he's got the cat lips.
Metal's first reaction. What the hell? Why do we get Fat Jotaro in Beyblade X now?
That's literally what I said. I think I think it was on here when we were looking at the manga cover that had Phoenix Wing and Sphinx Cowl.
I don't remember exactly what it was, but
yeah,
I just remember that.
When the first time we saw that, it was like I was like, "What the hell? They made Jotaro a fat. They made him fat." And it's like, oh, this guy. Okay, we got Fat Jotaro now. Say lovey. But yes, we get Fat Jotaro in here, and interesting character. We don't really know much about him. We also get another image of Multi being giant and then kind of like looking down on men. And I'm gonna be honest, there were a few like weird, like slightly feminist themes I found throughout the entire like puzzle section. Like Bird and Kamen were just way more idiotic than they normally would have been.
Okay, yeah, we'll get to that. I don't know how many pictures I have of the puzzle, but there are some glaring points that they keep throwing back on intelligence for these characters. And it really pissed me off the way that they portrayed them in this episode. I guess we'll move forward and see what the next screenshot is before I divulge too much into that. But
yeah.
Okay, so yeah, the puzzle already happened, but so the puzzle was, we actually don't know, but we can use context clues and whatnot. That they had to guess right or left door, yes or no, to a riddle or a question on the parts of a Beyblade. And it went blade, ratchet, bit. And Bird forgot what the hell a bit was. He got blade, ratchet, and then just scratched his head. Kamen didn't know the damn answer for a bit. I don't know what the subtitles are going to say, but like Bird just literally flatlined halfway through his sentence, and I'm like, what kind of logic is that? Like, it wasn't even funny. I mean, I don't know. We flip-flop between the audience for this, but like, I don't know what the comic relief was in that sentence. It just really frustrated me because Bird just regresses so fast in this anime. Like, he makes progress and then just throws it out the window like it was just not... It was a fever dream. So it just makes me upset when they make Bird or any of these characters just literally brain dead. And I don't know.
Yeah.
I personally don't find it entertaining most of the time.
Yeah. We didn't really know, like... I think maybe we'll have to, like, watch this later. I mean, I think I would like to do... What I would like to do at the end of this anime is to go back and watch it all in sub and kind of give, like, our final full thoughts, knowing all of the context of what's been said and some of the motives for things that we've been guessing on. It did just kind of seem, though, here, like, it was the really weirdly, like, childish segment where Kamen and Bird are way more animated and exacerbated than usual, and it's like, who's that Pokemon kind of crap, except it didn't work here because it was part of the story, and it's like, this is the blade, this is the ratchet, and this is the... And it's like, Bird, at this point in the anime, I cannot excuse not knowing what a bit is. He literally, like, hawked over Multi during the process of her building him a new Bey. And he obviously understands Beyblade enough to know what the basic parts are. That's like the most fundamental part of Beyblade is knowing what the parts are. KAMEN has zero, even less, he has negative value excuse because he is a professional who is at the top of the Beyblade world. And you're trying to tell me this man forgot that the bottom part of a Beyblade is called a bit? I'm not buying it. Now, granted, that may not be what it was. Maybe it was something like how many gear teeth are on it, which that's something that I bet a lot of people in the Beyblade X community don't know. The standard number, I believe, is 12 teeth, and Rush is the exception right now with 10. And they're spaced out a little bit more for variable speeding on the X-Dash, which is, I hope, something that we're going to see change over time, which we mentioned a while ago when Rush was still coming out. But, you know, it's like with this, it just kind of, it was sort of like, what was the point of this? Was it just to reinforce the names of the parts? Because at this point in the anime, if you are watching this, like, let's say that a dumb American child, because our children are stupid, and exactly, yeah, me too, we're both stupid here, as you could tell from earlier, but, like, oh shit, what was my point? Oh yeah, no, it's like, if like, some dumb American kid is watching this, right? And it's episode 15. So they have seen 14 other episodes in which, in multiple of them, they discuss the parts of the Beyblades, and they talk about the bits and the ratchets and the blades. And at this point in time, the kid probably has a couple Beyblades of his own, one, two, or them, I suppose. We're not going to do gender exclusivity on this, but you know, that kid could, you know, he probably has like a few Beyblades, and they know, okay, the middle part is the ratchet, the top part is the blade, the tip part is the bit. So having this segment here, if it is like, guess what the part name is kind of dumb. That's very low level information that they put on the boxes, and something they've mentioned before, and it's like, why are these two professional league bladers at this point? Bird may not be that much a professional, but he's not an idiot. He's actually pretty smart at the end of the day. He is resourceful, and he definitely knows his Beyblade. Exactly, he has a notebook that he takes notes in. KAMEN, even less of an excuse, like I mentioned, he's a pro. No reason he should be forgetting any of this.
I don't know. It makes. I just think again that like I don't know. They said it right away, and we couldn't understand it. We rephrase this every time we even talk about this anime that we can't understand a word they say besides like 7 words. But I don't know. I don't understand the question, but anyway, it was a very weird segment. Like parts of this anime feel like they're filler, but they're just not. And that's like, I was expecting this episode to be 100% like filler, up until the last like 5 minutes, which was kind of strange. And I don't know. Personally, I haven't read the last chapters of the manga, but it seems like they're not even correlating anymore. It's like they're just completely different storylines, which I don't know how I feel about, because what do we get? 2 to 3 episodes of filler in a row for the anime. And we still haven't looped back around to meet back up with the manga. And I don't know when that's going to happen or how that's going to affect, because, I mean, maybe next episode we did see a little spoiler there that it's getting similar character-wise at least, but I don't know when they're going to finish that storyline that the manga started.
So typically with Beyblade, the manga and the anime are very different. This is the closest we've ever had to like the manga and the anime being like relatively in the same general vicinity of story ranges, because I mean, in the first like few chapters of MFB's manga, so like most of you have seen the anime, or I would imagine quite a few of our however many viewers have seen the Metal Fight anime. It starts out with Kensa at like a tournament, and he gets top 8, and then he gets confronted in an alley by some thugs, and then he's saved by Jinga, who swoops in to save him, and then he befriends Jinga, and Jinga, gets lured into a battle by the vengeful thugs, but he still wins. And then he gets challenged by the leader of the gang, and then he battles him on top of a tower, and he still wins. And, you know, then they kind of become frenemies from that point on. In the manga, it's very different because Kenta does not go to any tournament. He's just battling in the wilderness, or, well, not the wilderness, but he's just battling outside. And he gets confronted by Benkei, but he wins, I think. I don't know. I can't remember if he won or lost. But Jinga doesn't come in and save him. No, Jinga literally falls off a building. Yeah, he falls off a building and lands next to Kenta. And then when he fights Kiyoya, after he beats Kiyoya, on top of an unfinished building, mind you, Jinga just pees off the top of the building. And I've talked about this so many times because honestly, it's absolutely hilarious. Jinga just like
Yeah.
like you think of Jinga as like in the beginning of Metal Fight as kind of like this cool guy who comes in and he saves the day and he's very strong. And then in the manga, he falls off a building and pisses off. He falls off a building and pisses off a building in two separate incidents in the very early parts of the storyline, and it's just absolutely unhinged. And with Beyblade X, it's very much not that. It's all the manga chapters are translated just about perfectly to the anime, which that's honestly kind of crazy to me that we're seeing that now of all times. And it definitely makes it interesting, but the last chapter of the manga, I did an entire video ranting about it.
Oh, I remember about that. I stopped watching it because I didn't want to watch it anymore.
Wow.
No.
I knew you were an asshole. No, I'm kidding.
No, I think. Well, I was just chilling there, but I didn't really want a spoiler for the podcast. I didn't know how much you were gonna divulge or whatever. But I just didn't want to go into anything because I didn't want you to spoil anything from my first reactions if we ended up doing something or whatever. But anyway, yeah, I do remember you made a video on that and you were pissed. I forget it. Honestly, now I completely forget what that video even or what that chapter of the manga was even about. But anyway,
yeah, no, it was not good. Honestly, I wouldn't even read it. I would not read it. I read it with T-Flame, Counter, and Fat Quat, and I still hated it.
Fair enough.
It was, yeah, we made like a 30-minute recording of us like trying to read that together, and it was fun, but the chapter was so bad that it's just irredeemable. And I think I think what really sucks about it is like it really shouldn't have been that way. It's like just kind of the way that the story in the manga has been progressing and how predictive and repetitive everything is where I had my issue. And then, of course, how they handled certain characters and aspects of the story just really didn't make sense or have any right to be the way that they were. And I'm kind of convinced that AI is just writing the manga for them. And there was also some graphical errors that they had in that chapter. So kind of a mouthful to really dive into that. And Elliot hasn't read it. And I mean, if you want to read it, Elliot, yeah, it's you're gonna not love it. You're gonna not love it as much as I not love it. And so that is the manga, and I don't want to complain about it here because I'm kind of tired of complaining about it. But that video did well, so I'll complain about something else. I'll find something to complain about for my next video, guys. Don't worry.
Metal's gonna be the new the Beyblade creator that complains about being a Beyblade creator.
Guys, I really hate being This is why my Beyblade content creation job is harder than your 9 to 5. I have to complain about shit. No, this job
I spent $20 on a Beyblade at Target, and then I bought that Beyblade, and it made me spend $20 on Starbucks. Like, my life sucks.
The Beyblade came out of the package and forced me to go to Starbucks and buy something. Yeah. No, I mean, Starbucks has some decent stuff. I will give Starbucks credit. I used to hate Starbucks, but that's only because I worked at Dunkin'. And Dunkin' is trash. I'm sorry, Dunkin', but I'm actually not sorry, because your products are terrible.
I hate Dunkin'.
It's so bad. The coffee is horrendous.
Their breakfast sandwiches are atrocious.
Oh, they're so mid. You need to
You
like.
have Tim Hortons in New Jersey?
We do. Thank God we have Tim Hortons in
Oh, Tim
Jersey.
Hortons is so good.
It is so much better. They have the maple bacon waffle sandwich. Oh
Yeah, it's
my
fire.
God, it is the greatest thing to ever come out of fast food breakfast. It is phenomenal.
I drive down to North Carolina to go snowboarding with my cousin and whatnot, and I get pissed when I wake up in the morning, have to drive 8 hours home, and then realize I have to start my morning off with Dunkin'. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I just want a quality sandwich, but no, their sausage tastes terrible. Their bagels are, I don't know. Anyway, what are we talking about again?
I think we're talking about.
This seems to be a loop.
Yeah, we're just completely off topic. This is the most off topic Blade Dragons episode
really is.
ever. But this is what happens when Elliot goes on vacation and I stay up the past 2 nights until literally 7 in the morning, two nights in a row, in order to work on a digital board game. So we're both kind of not at our 100% at the moment, but it's all right, because when are we ever really at 100%, you know? We're always at least a little scuffed.
Do we have another screenshot to talk about?
Yeah, I think we still have a lot more screenshots to talk about.
I would assume we have like 6 or 7 more.
Yeah, I think so. Just trying to keep my hands busy so I don't fall asleep. This episode, Metal falls asleep on podcast. Oh, we still have
That was 2 episodes ago.
All right, so yeah, so we just went from foam pit, and now we're at lava pit. So apparently, after if they had gotten the question wrong, they would have just gone into this lava pit. Which,
and that's what I brought up earlier, where I was expecting them to reveal the 4X, and they just didn't. They just said, nope, you should have died. And it's one of the first times in this series where it's just become serious for no reason or not a comedic reason. Like, I would get it if it was like in a different context, but it's like, oh, yeah, we're just in a museum, but no, you can just die now. We'll move past this, but, you know, just throwing that out there that you could have died if you were gone with your own brain cells instead of Maltese, but whatever. And I don't know. I enjoy the concept of it, but it didn't hit right with me.
yeah, it was just
It felt like an unfinished joke.
it was just very weirdly like out of place for like the scene. It's like they kind of had this weird goofy segment, and then they throw in this really dark element, like, so this is what was under box B, it was your death. And it's like, wait, why? Where did this come from? And it was very, I don't know. It was kind of, I was a little off put by it, to be honest. It just kind of didn't make any sense. They didn't bother to explain it. There was nothing like this for the rest of the episode either. This is the only time that anything like this happened. And I guess we're just going to have to speculate on what could have been. Because, yeah, no answers, like we said before. Kind of really wacky. And it's like, you know, you made a whole effort to do, like, this 4X museum room thing. And then you're just going to be like, and under box B was, uh-oh, you could have been turned into toast. Whoa, whoopsies, we dropped the lava in the pit. And, yeah, it's just kind of dumb and stupid. And, yeah, I don't think I hate the anime. I think it's just kind of just a problem with this episode. It didn't really stick to what it was going after. It's like, is it a 4X museum or is it a death trap? Pick one, please.
Are we Indiana Jones, or like, is there going to be a boulder next room?
Yeah. We hitting the boulder room? Are we like stealing idols and pissing off Mexicans and all that, and or Aztecs? I don't know.
Was that an Indiana Jones?
Yeah, and Raiders. Where's the Lost Ark?
I haven't seen any of those.
Or the natives? I don't know. We might edit
I haven't watched any Marvel, watched any Indiana Jones, some Star Wars,
Don't watch
Star
Wars.
Trek. DC. I just don't watch movies, so get mad at me in the comments. Leave a comment on this video. That'd be nice for once.
DC, more like D's nuts. I think superheroes that aren't Batman are ass. Marvel is overrated as fuck, and Disney should go to hell because they're greedy corporate lamos who are trying to copyright strike all the Steamboat Willie stuff, even though Steamboat Willie is in the public domain.
Oh, are they trying to?
Yeah, I think so. There've been like a bunch of fan projects. There was like a horror movie and a horror game announcement or something,
those.
or like concept for Steamboat Willie, which looked pretty cool. And then I heard nonsense about Disney like going around trying to strike everything. It's like, you guys literally cannot do this. This is like Sony trying to copyright a dude's playing of a public domain piece of classical music on like Facebook. And it's like, are you really that greedy for money that you need to go after public domain stuff? It's like, you can have a recording of like a licensed music group do classical music and you can copyright that recording, but when a dude like just plays like a simple thing on a piano from Mozart or Bach or whatever, and then you try and copyright that because it was the same thing.
Wait,
that
Sony owns Mozart?
Yeah, no, Sony does not own Mozart. Nobody owns Mozart.
Oh, okay. Okay, I was confused there.
Yeah, like, they just have Mozart on ice in their studios, you know.
Disney has Walt Disney. Sony just has Mozart.
Yeah, Sony's got all the classical dudes. He's got Michael Jackson on ice and whatnot. I don't know if Catherine gave up his body though, because she had him on ice for a while after he passed. But that's a rabbit hole of nonsense for another day. Unicorn Sting Beyblade 560 gear point. We called it with the gear point on this one. We're just gonna seamlessly transition from Michael Jackson's dead body on ice to Beyblade again. That's how it works here at almost
specifically unicorns, not even Beyblades, just unicorns.
Yeah. So yeah, Michael Jackson unicorns. We get Unicorn Sting, and we've seen some more detail. There's other like detailed videos on it and everything. It looks interesting. I think the point's going to be a little more pronounced, it seems like, but at the same time, it's also gear flat, so it's going to be kind of curious to see. I am a fan of the white blade ring on the ratchet, because now I can have 580 come ratchet for Beyblade X.
I thought that was milk ratchet.
Oh, that's what they say. That's what they're saying.
Is that the PG ratchet? I remember the substance was implied.
Yeah, they
Wow.
Some people probably I think they were actually being good people for once and not just spamming my comment section with the substance it actually was. So thank you guys for that one. I bet like only one person who's seen that comment section is watching this. And if you made it that far, you should consider telling your other friends about this podcast because we're fun and we're also stupid. But Unicorn Sting looks like it'll be interesting. I think it's coming out like it might actually be out already. It's either like the 22nd or the 24th or something.
It should be out this week, I think.
Yeah, I might.
I think it was like it was the 20-something. Yeah, do we know dates on next month release yet or no?
I think it's like the 22nd, 24th.
So they're switching these to the end of the month now. They were just getting the beginning releases out at the first of the month.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, now we got late month, which I don't mind that, to be honest. It's all right.
It is all right.
Yeah, and this is the only thing for January, so we got like tons of time for Sphinx Cowl. But definitely interested in this one. I kind of like the aggressive face on the unicorn. It reminds me a lot of Striker from Metal Fight. I actually can show that off. Yeah, got Metal Fight Beyblade. Got like that nice unicorn. I can't tell if it's upside down or not, but we got Ray Striker. Very interesting Beyblade. It's our unicorn, and I'm definitely excited for this one. Unicrest from Burst was not impressive to me. This one I think is good. This looks like it'll be a fun unicorn Beyblade.
Yeah, I was hoping that when we saw this blade design, I was really hoping that it was gonna have a little more oomph on one side than just design. I don't know. I haven't heard anything about like weight distribution on it or anything, but I was kind of hoping we got like a weighted hammer that would just KO things right away.
Well, that's
But
Phoenix Wing.
I guess we'll have to wait.
Phoenix Wing is your hammer.
Fair enough.
It's pretty heavy. Although T and J and me did a video and we kind of go over our thoughts on it. It's not as OP as most people say it is, to be honest. I think everyone overhyped it. After having played with it for a while, it's useful, but it is not the greatest thing in Beyblade X right now. I think the overall meta is still fairly reasonably within a general balance. You have your standout combinations, but at the end of the day, anything can really happen in the stadium. But I think Unicorn Sting is going to be it'll be an interesting Beyblade. The kind of like mint green with the purple or magenta and the white is a very interesting color combination. But I like that they're actually kind of mixing the colors up, because there were a couple of Beyblades that didn't really make sense color-wise to me. Like Lion Claw was just sort of, what the hell? Why?
Viper is a weird one.
Yeah, Viper. I mean, like Viper did make sense in terms of colors, but at the same time, it also just looked a little.
Are snakes orange and blue?
Yeah, I think there are some like blue and orange snakes out there.
Maybe. Are drawn sword dragons blue? Like,
well, we know that Drawn Sword is actually just Ord from Dragon Tales, and he went through his college frat years and did cocaine with Steve-O and came to be a mascot in Beyblade. But yeah, Unicorn Sting. I keep wanting to say fucking Unicrest, and I'm not a huge burst guy either. I hate that.
Oh, that's funny. I just had a thought. Drawn sword is just Ord that went through AA. He's just getting his life back on track.
Yeah, pretty much. He went through AA, and now he's been rehabilitated until Dragon White comes back and tells him he needs to cook meth with him.
He's just got one more A until he becomes a Duracell battery. That'll be the day.
Exactly, but I mean, Duracell does make AA's, so. Are you insinuating that Duracell does not make AA batteries, Elliot?
No, but you make one more and you become a AAA.
Which is smaller than a AA.
Yeah, he needs to go on Weight Watchers, dude.
That's true. All right. Valid point. Multi's got glasses on again, and we're moving on. So we got another Yeti, and honestly, did they ever say if this was a fake Yeti or if this was just actually a Yeti?
Yeah, they left this one up to debate, which once again is one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, you could just die. Okay, but I don't know. It was one of those cool things that I predicted the Yeti Beyblade, and my theory for this Yeti is that he is Zamasu, whatever the heck his name is, Zonamos. I keep wanting to call him Zamasu from Dragon Ball Z, but yeah, it's my theory that he has the recolors of his Beyblade that are going to release in the booster. Is this the first recolor that we've seen in the anime? Like recolor combo?
So yeah, I believe no, because there's like the blue Shark Edge, and then I mean there's Stone Mont Blanc, which is just
like
White Night Shield.
they're released like in a random booster or a whatever. I think this might be the first colorway that has been shown besides stock. That's not except a generic bay or whatever.
Yeah, minus the ratchet and bit on it. I think this is the first time that a like pretty much 1-to-1 recolor has been shown exactly in the anime and in the products, because I think the closest thing we've had before is Blahaj Blast to that one Shark Edge that kind of shows up in the cases, but then again, we really want to count that one, and I think the green one in the anime has like a brown shark on it, whereas Blahaj Blast has more of a green shark, which is more normal for it, but definitely something. My mind is breaking as we speak.
Yeah, so my theory is that this is the Sphinx dude in a costume that he has all the Beyblades, but once again, we will never know because, well, Bird touches him and they battle, so he's not 4D or 4X.
Whoa, Bird
So
touches
he is.
him?
You see him? He just slapped him. He's like, yeah,
Oh,
Kamen, get out of here.
and he slapped him?
You see that backhand? You know, Bird went super MSUV right there and beat the hell out of a Yeti.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we don't get a resolution on what this Yeti is, but they use the 4X system to teleport them back into this parallel universe or whatever the whatever Metal just did to his desk. But yeah, so they just did 4X and transported them back into the winter biome. But at the same time, I don't understand the first way they just blow snow and cold air. And then this time it's just like, it's just a hologram that we're actually still in a normal room. It's kind of funny the way they interpreted this museum. But anyway, we are introduced to the new Beyblade, Sphinx dude. I'm not really up to date on what it's called, but
Sphinx cowl.
Cowl. There we go.
We get a nice
Which
little
looks
shot
like a
of...
very nice defense ring or defense blade. It should have some decent recoil. We'll have to compare it to the Night Lance, which is the current runner-up. Or wait, oh, he's got 960, or no, this is 980 gear needle.
Yeah, this one isn't the exact combo as in the random booster. I think that one's 580 orb. And this one is
get
the
some
stock
recolored
combo.
new parts. That's very interesting.
Yeah,
this one's the stock combo.
Yeah, this is the recolored stock combo, which is kind of interesting to see.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks like it'll be interesting. One thing that I do want to mention in terms of product talk is Gear Needle. It kind of does look like it might have a little bit more LAD or life after death, where it has, like room on the performance tip to lean over and wobble. Which is something that Needle, right now, the Needle family is lacking a lot. Defense types, you pretty much can't run any kind of effective defense type on Spike. Forget Spike. You're not getting anywhere with Spike. And yeah, it's kind of losing my mind here, but with Gear Needle looking a little wider on the base there with the gears, like it'll probably have like slightly more LAD. It's not going to be anything like High Needle where it has like a surface to actually kind of lean over on, but it'll be more than Needle and Spike can speak for, because those bits are just kind of doo-doo, but Needle kind of has some funny properties, so it's just how it be sometimes.
I really like this recolor. If we get like well, I guess this is if this Ratchet, well, this Ratchet is releasing, but it's probably gonna be the same Ratchet that was on Rhino Horn, because didn't Rhino Horn get? Yeah, I guess that was a 360, but yeah, it's probably gonna be the similar purple to Rhino Horn. I like this kind of ice color, but it's probably just gonna be like a violet, like same recolor is Rhino Horn 5980. But anyway, it's a very fun looking Beyblade, and I love me a good defense with some protrusions to get that recoil, because I think those are the fun ones that they're like the dark horse in the race that you launch a defense bay in there and then it just recoils and wins.
Yeah,
I enjoy those battles.
Yeah, it gets kind of goofy with the more aggressive defense types. I don't think, aside from Night Shield, we don't have a like solid defense type, because everything else is centered around having some kind of attack potential or just having insane recoil, which is kind of hilarious to me. I think it's sort of just out of the blue in terms of like just kind of So defense types just don't really defend. They give them aggressive shapes, put them on sharp bits, and they're like, yeah, that's defense. And it's like, wait, what the hell? It's sort of interesting, But yeah, I guess that just keeps it fresh for all the youngsters out there getting into Beyblade nowadays. But definitely excited for Phoenix Cal to come out, and we'll definitely give our opinions on that when we get to play with it. We also do get an explanation here. We can see that there is a 4x effect on Sphinx Cal. We didn't know if this was a new special move last week, and if it was going to be a an actual thing like Wizard Parry or Mirage Parry, whatever it's called for Multi and her shiny thing. This was confirmed to be a 4x, which is kind of cool actually. I kind of like it being that way, because you can feasibly explain Kamen's or a drawn sword not being able to hit it and kind of getting like repelled. It's like the 4x is a visualization of like the spin power and the wind that's surrounding the Beyblade in real life. Which honestly, that's a good implementation of 4x. I'm definitely glad that we get to see stuff like that in Beyblade X.
And looking at this screenshot, you can really see the gear needle in action, and that needle looks really tall, like it's the original design needle just with longer gears. So we will have to see the LAD on that, and hopefully they don't design it similar to Point or to Spike and just make it top heavy and unbalanced. I would hate to see them wreck that concept again with defense types. Wait, is Rhino Horn a defense? Yeah, compact defense. Yeah. So I'd hate for them to throw another defense bay off balance for the stock combo, but we will have to see.
Yep, and that'll be sometime next month, or probably March. Honestly, it might be a March thing that happens, but
yeah,
that's all right.
that's the time frame nowadays since the releases are they release in the last week, and then everyone gets it the first week of the next month, which kind of cool, but a little weird.
Yeah, I guess. Well, I guess that's how it is with with us for this new gen, since we haven't really been in a gen where it's airing, and we have to wait for stuff to ship in. It's not like you just go to the store and you don't go bay hunting. You have to just shop online and pay extra fees for import. But I guess we won't have to deal with that for too long, since we're getting it this year, later on in the, I want to say fall is when, fall 2024, we're going to see Beyblade X in the US at last. And we've already discussed on Hasbro and how they're going to handle it. So next up, we got the defense type human, who is Zonamos, user of Sphinx Cowl, and he's just a big block with kind of a tiny head and no neck.
That's a long torso.
Absolutely no neck. And his arms and hands are kind of massive in the shot. He looks a little out of proportion. I don't like the way he's squinting at me. We're going to move on because I'm starting to feel like secondhand molestation or something from this dude. And I don't know how that works.
This is an awesome stadium. Like,
the
concept for the stadiums have been different, and this is the first stadium that we've seen that's in a different atmosphere. Like, we got a backyard stadium or a training stadium, but this is the second main stage that we've seen. We get the tournament stadium, and this is, for being in a museum, why'd they have to go so hard in the design? This I love the concept of the stadium. It reminds me of the Metal Fight Stadium, when they were doing the seasonal bladers, where weren't they on a big pedestal like this or whatever?
Yeah, they were. They were on a thing in the middle of a temple, kind of like this in Metal Fight when they were fighting Nemesis. But it was interesting, and I'm definitely psyched for next episode to see Zonamos and see what his personality is like, and also to see the different battles. And speaking of next episode, there's also some very interesting things that we're going to be seeing, like Detective Multi. I don't think we've seen her in her detective outfit at all, so this will be a first. And for the people out there who are probably like, "Oh, is she gonna get a new Beyblade? Because we haven't seen this outfit." No, no. We would have known if we would have gotten info in the manga about it. So this is a considering this is a filler episode. No shot they're just gonna introduce like some anime only Beyblade. I doubt it. Maybe I'm wrong. This is the first time I'm keeping up with the manga and the anime at the same time. So I maybe they've done this before, but I would guess not, considering how consistent they've been with generally. They announce a product, it shows up in the manga, it shows up in the anime, and then we usually get like a release. So, or it's some variation of that. So Detective Multi looks like it'll be interesting. We're also getting a battle with Wizard and Sphinx, which is going to be pretty cool. We can see it's in its original Sphinx cowl colors there in the Random Booster Select. Honestly, the blade does look kind of fun. It looks a little thin to me compared to Wizard here. It could just be an animation thing, but definitely doesn't look light. So I'm definitely going to be curious to try it out in battle when it comes.
Mm-hmm. Should be a fun Beyblade to experiment with. But yes, it does look a little more hefty compared to the Wizard Arrow's original design.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. And then we get this kind of weird shot of Phoenix Wing just looking like it was photoshopped in. I swear we didn't do this. We didn't Photoshop this in. This is literally what it was in the preview. And I mean, Phoenix Feather. Phoenix Feather.
Yeah, so this is what I hinted at earlier, that we get a teaser at the end of the anime for Burn to come back, and I'm hoping they kind of get back on track with Burn's storyline that progressed a little faster in the manga, because they teased him for like 2 episodes, and then did we get the KAMEN Burn battle in the anime?
Nope. Nowhere close to that. We're just seeing his teammates now. Like, Zonamas is the first person on his team that we've seen show up.
Yeah, I was confused. I was like, wait a second, why can I picture that battle in color? But I'm like, no, that was just the manga. But yeah, so there's a bunch of manga events that are pretty cool that in theory could spice this anime up. But we will definitely have to see. And chances are that's going to be episode 25 at this rate.
Yep. That pretty much wraps up our thoughts on the anime now. I don't believe we talked about this. We haven't talked about it yet because I put it in the folder. We have finally gotten an answer to what, or at least we've gotten a first look into what UX is possibly going to be, and this is what it looks like. This is what the first Beyblade UX Bay is going to look like, and I am going to be completely honest. I have such a very unpopular opinion compared to everyone else. I don't like it. I think it looks dumb, and granted, I think we do need to see more. See if is this just kind of a blade variation, because it looks like it's got a crystal design over the gear chip holder.
Prongs.
Yeah. And I'm not exactly sure what to make of it, so I don't really want to like crap on it too much, but I think my main point is that it doesn't really look that exciting for something that's granted, the community's kind of hyped it up a little bit more than they have, and it's also not season 2. If you are watching this and you are under the impression that Beyblade UX is season 2, it's not. It is a subsystem, which means that it is just kind of a variation of the original system. We've seen this before in Beyblade Burst. They had some similar things in a couple of the seasons. So UX is not season 2. We are literally still like not even in the middle of season 1. We haven't even. I don't think we've reached like over 25%. Maybe we have. I don't know. We're not even halfway done with season 1. There's 51 episodes. We just got done with 15. It's not season 2. But I think this Beyblade, the design, and it's kind of very burst-like, asymmetrical design is throwing me off a bit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking. I didn't know if it was gonna have like an Excalibur sword type thing with this angle that one prong or spike looks a little longer. But when I saw this picture, my first interpretation was, "Wow, this is a Megatron Beyblade."
kind of
It
looks
reminds me of
like
the Megatron design almost.
it kind of looks like it's like Optimus Prime in disguise. It looks like something out of Transformers almost. It doesn't really it like you can kind of tell that it's Beyblade-ish, but it also just kind of looks like a Geode that someone cracked open and tossed down
Mm-hmm.
under a light and put some graphics around. It is difficult to make out what it is right now, and as of recording, we haven't seen any new images of UX. We don't know what. I mean, we really have no idea exactly what this is. For all we know, UX is just a different kind of blade styling, and it still functions on the ratchet and bit system. It could be completely different with how it is. Um, we weren't here for Burst when there was that when there were the subsystems there, and I don't think really Metal Fight had any subsystems or Plastic Gen. I mean, most we got were like the little keychain spinners or the like rubber or plastic like wind up tops in the small stadiums. And then Metal Fight had Bay Wheels, but that's not really a subsystem. That's a spin-off that Hasbro created.
We
So
had Bay Warriors. Excuse me.
we had that too, but does anyone really care that much about Bay Warriors at the end of the day? I think people like the
Yeah. So
anime, but the toys were very Hasbro. I think if they weren't related to Beyblade, they would have done so much better. Like if the anime that they made for it and the toys were their own thing, like something Moto Raiders, you could have called it Moto Raiders. That actually I would have been interested in that because that kind of sounds cool.
it
I
does.
think I think that would have been a good move, but they attached it to Beyblade and like Bay Wheels was kind of like it's kind of a meme at this point.
The
It's
anime
like
is so bad, so bad.
the anime. I've seen the whole thing. I
I
just
watched
haven't
like
watched it in
I've
years.
rewatched the first episode twice, and I just can't get into the second episode. I'm like, what the hell did they just make me watch?
Yeah, I forgot most of the. It's just kind of forgettable, I guess. Either that or I just didn't care
Very
enough when I was a
forgettable.
kid. I think I do need to go and rewatch it at some point, but like, um, Bay Wheels, it's like, oh, haha, funny. You tilt it on its side, and now it's a tire, and it's like, oh, well,
Gotta go
okay.
fast.
Literally, it's Sonic Beyblade, and then we had Bay Warriors, Bay Raiders, whatnot, and it's like that would have been, or I guess Bay Warriors was the action figure tops, which that was kind of cool, but I like the spinning tops. I don't care about action figures for my Beyblades. I'm sorry, I'm not an action
That's
figure
why I don't
guy.
play. That's why I don't play Bakugan.
Yeah, or yeah.
Just to
I
make
need it to spin. I need everything to be spinning, and the Bay Warriors kinda, but they don't, and that I like that. Yeah, I remember you showing the gyroscope thing.
Yeah, it's the
Nice.
gyroscope fidget spinner. It's pretty neat. It's the Beyblades in 3 different axes. Yeah.
But
My interpretation of UXs might be I don't know. The way they show this off might have something to do with like black lights or glowing aspects, or I don't know if it's just the plastic design or whatever. But I don't understand it.
they're catering to they're catering to the rock collecting spiritual ladies out there. They're catering to that group now. I didn't think we would see the day. I guess I was wrong. No, I'm kidding, but
We knew Beyblade X was inclusive. We didn't know that they were gonna do this. Next year they're gonna release Koro sewing needles.
they're gonna take Benkei up on his statement of my grandma can spin harder than that. I'm just gonna get the grandmas on Beyblade, I guess. The new sewing needle launcher grip.
Even your grandma can play. Let it. Your grandma crochets a ripcord. Let it rip.
Oh god, yeah, she like 3D print crochets a ripcord and then starts Beyblading with you. That'd be kind of sick. I
That
don't
would
think I
be.
ever Beybladed with my grandma. Yeah, no, I don't think she ever did that with us. remember my grandpa. He had the Max Stampede Stadium and my Rock Sarafa. Those were originally his, quote unquote, which basically meant that we had to go and ask him if we could play with his Beyblade stuff. It was like the Max Stampede Stadium with the craters, which was kind of fun, but then Rock Sarafa, and it's like at the time that I was into it, I already had so many more Beyblades, and it's like it was really just one stadium and one Beyblade. My other cousin who played didn't care about it anymore, and then I just swiped it. So, I mean, of course, yeah, I mean, he gave it to me, so it's like, yeah, and that's how I got my Max Stampede Stadium. But I think to kind of cap off the thoughts before our brains melt into our mouths, I mean, they already are, but before they melt and dribble down the backs of our heads, uh, UX kind of I don't it's kind of hard to tell what it is. It if you didn't know it was Beyblade, you wouldn't know what the hell you're looking at, to be honest.
Yeah, look, it's I don't know. We'll have to see. I don't see how they could already have a spin-off like I or a sub whatever sub genre you just said or whatever. But I don't know. Like I said, it's either gonna be super underwhelming or just I don't know. I don't see myself get it. Well, what's there already 4 or 5 different UX releases scheduled? I think I remember seeing.
Yeah,
So I don't want it. I don't know. They can't be that different to take away the main storyline, but at the same time, I don't know what the hell they're about to do.
I think it's like a starter, or was it like two starters, a booster, and battle entry
Yeah.
set, and then like a random booster for it later. So I don't know it's going to be interesting to see what it is. I don't like it so far. I don't really hate it though. It just doesn't excite me. I mean, again, I don't know what to make of it. Like Beyblade X kind of has a very distinct like design with it. It's all very much Beyblade, where this kind of feels like it's trying to hybridize Burst and X, which if it's doing these aggressive shapes with the high speed metal of Beyblade X, I don't think that this is really going to pan out as well as TT might think. Because let me tell you, if my drawn sword gets like whacked and shattered because of this beast, I am going to ask for a free drawn sword from Takara Tomy, because this kind of looks a little too ridiculous to be a Beyblade right now. I guess we'll see in the coming months. And that's kind of really all we got for today. We're not going over Beyblade X manga chapter 8 because it's horrendous. I made a video complaining about it. If you want to go see that, check it out. And Elliot, it's up to you if you want to read it. I wouldn't recommend it, but you know, it's on the table there. So, any last thoughts before we close it off for today?
Nope. Fun as always. But yeah, no, that's the episode, guys. We will see you next week. Hope you guys enjoyed the last week's double uploads. We are caught back up. If you made it this far in the video, leave us a comment. We will definitely respond to that because
Shall we see? Oh, did you
we
check?
get Oh, yeah, no, we don't. We get overflowed with comments.
Leave comments, guys. We'll
Leave
read them
comments.
we'll read them on the next episode.
We were starting that, and then every episode we released then got less and less comments until we got none. But anyway, it's a podcast. I don't. It is what it is. But thank you guys so much for watching. Alex is about to go to bed. I'm about to go to bed. But yes, thank you guys for watching. Any last words, Alex?
Oh yeah, we'll see you guys next time. We might have some fun. We might do a little thing. I don't know when, but it will be a thing, and you guys will hear about it, and it might be here, probably, possibly. We'll see what happens. But
Good for you guys, because I haven't heard about anything yet.
no, I told you about it, but
Anyway,
you guys will find out, and that's it.
thank you guys for watching. Blade Dragons out.